Hey everybody, Habit here. Man, we're only 20 minutes in, and fourth restart, we'll get there, I promise. Alright, here's the screen. Test, test. Okay, name of the game for today, because I'm now killing all the volume on my external stuff that I look at, and getting rid of the horrible echo of myself. OBS is being crazy with the audio. When we first tried to kick things off here this morning, at the scheduled time, there were all was good, but there was no game audio, and it wasn't even like registering on the little desktop audio monitor thing. It just wasn't even picking it up. I could hear it in my headset, but it wasn't picking up from the PC feed, and that was odd. And we went back and forth like two times. I could sometimes get it to go by just fiddling stuff around. So I rebooted everything, started it up. It was still oddly low. And at least from the bits I've listened to, that hasn't been a problem. But you guys need to let me know in chat or comments or anything like that if you feel the my voice and the game audio levels are off. Let me know. Also, if the game is just inaudible at any point, because I just kind of happened to catch this one because the bar wasn't going. But yeah, if we run into those issues in the future, please speak up, either in the chat or, like I said, if it's a VOD, drop it in the comments. Even if it's already a VOD and it's kind of um, water under the bridge, right? You can't hear it, and that's too bad. At least I'll know to be watching for it, right? My biggest concern here is how many other times has that been a problem, right? I just haven't even known about it. So anyway, I haven't heard that from you folks that do hang out in the chat. So I'm going to assume that all is well. But I have boosted the game audio relative to my voice quite a bit. So let me know on this video or going forward if the game is suddenly too much or my voice is too much or back and forth. Please speak up. I want to make this pleasant and enjoyable. So, anyway, without further ado, now that we're so far beyond, let's get OBS out of the way. Let's play in Stardew. It is Monday, the 15th of summer. As feared, I kind of have very little idea what's going on. I know that because I've restarted the game several times, I know our inventory is still partially full. Spirits are somewhat annoyed today. Luck will not be on your side. Probably okay. That was the luck will not be on our side. Oh, I did get her obsidian cord. Gourd. Welcome to Living Off the Land. We're back again with another tip for y'all. Listen up. Got a spa in your town. Relax and hold still in the steaming hot water to replenish your energy. Feels good, don't it? We know about our spa and we have made use of it a little bit. Hopefully, we will not need to much more at all because we've now got hops and we have corn and we have more peppers and more honey. Life is pretty good over here on the farm. The other thing that we achieved in the last episode is that this little section is all set. It's got 6 sprinklers, so we don't have to water these hop plants. The poppies have all risen, and the bees in the bee houses are using those to make poppy honey, which we can then sell. We also have a couple of lightning rods. That's what those are. Ooh, look at that. And still no red cabbage, though. It's getting there. So we got a lot of good stuff, but as you can see, we finished up the day with a little bit of fishy, miney craziness. I think these were both out of deals. I want to check the calendar before we decide anything hasty about... Oh, it is a bad luck day, so we didn't get any good coffee beans. It's okay. And we'll go ahead and sell these hops, but we probably got a higher percentage of regular hops too. So we got a few fish to sell, and we have at least one wood skip to hold on to for the community center. And that sardine, those 2 could go up. I'd still like to kind of make those bundled trips. We did it after the luau, and I just made a mistake there. So those things happen, but let's get these things cleared out. We'll also have to get our watering can to finish watering the main crops. But let's put this trash away. And then we get to harvest corn. Looks like we have to fill our watering can. So very exciting. First corn harvest. And this will keep going all the way up to winter now. These corn plants. Hey, what's up, Ant? How you doing, man? Hang on a second. I got a spam call. I gotta stop my phone from beeping. Spam risk. Bye. All right, sorry about that distraction. There was a text there that I had missed as well. So yeah, good stuff. I think our first priority to hit the ground running, because is it Sam's birthday on Wednesday of this week? Is that what we're up to? We did the luau, of course, so we put in our cauliflower. That got us a nice friendship bonus with everybody, which was good. And we have the moonlight jellies that will be at the end of the month. But between then, I think we've really even we had such a big week of birthdays last week that I think those even calmed down a little bit. We may have a couple this week, but if I remember, Sam's is later this week and we don't have anything in the next couple days. With our steel axe and our kind of bad luck, I guess we'll take a look. We've got 8172, and this may be... we got to check our iron supply. I don't remember how many bars we have. I was going to say, oh, this might be the time to take the pickup and get Clint working on it just so that they're done and out of the way. But I don't even know if we have the resources to do it after making all those sprinklers. Do still have the one more row to go, but time-wise, energy-wise, after all that harvesting and still just having this much more to go, we're going to get done at, probably before 11 o'clock. And that's not too bad. It's kind of wild. We're certainly into the second half of summer, right? It's now downhill, which is a good thing, right? It's downhill, meaning our crops are established, and we worked really hard to get these double patch of blueberries and the corn and some of the peppers and the tomatoes, everything in the ground and going early, so that those that would continue to produce will have these weeks to just give us profit. Right? That's great. But while that's happening, we have kind of already to start planning for what are we going to do in fall. We kind of made a nod to that in getting this rare seed. But look, we've got no iron, so I think with our bad luck, we'll put our fishing pole away, we'll put our steel axe away. We enjoyed getting the first thing. We're going to check the calendar, and I'm pretty sure that with this week and Sam, we can sell this pizza or give this pizza to him, and he'll love it. So why wouldn't we do that? And we did. So let's do. I don't think many people are huge corn fans, but we'll bring one to sell. We'll keep a couple just in case something happens, and we'll sell our peppers. I think we already put the hops in the bin, so there's not much point looking back on that. And I'm not. Today I'm thinking about it, but I'm not going to bring the cherry bombs to the farm because it is a big old mess. So getting the nod from Ant is awesome. It was great. I got a little bit of time. I got to pay back that lurking favor. He's pretty cool. Ant, I don't even know if he's still lurking after dropping that in here, but one. Go. We're up over 10. Now, one thing that we could do, since we need to farm some more, should we go all in? Wednesday is Sam, and then we have Demetrius and Willie, and we have Willie's birthday gift covered too. Demetrius will give him something. The known good gifts I have for him don't exist, but I'm feeling like, you know what, we can do this, and let's just go for it. The crops are bringing stuff back so fast, and like right now, everything that we're selling, we don't have to replace. There's no seeds that we need to buy immediately. Now, some of those other crops are going to go, and we will have to replace them. The summer spangles and the poppies that we have going, maybe some of the sunflowers, but that's a long way off, and I think well before that, we're going to have probably some more quality sprinklers spread across that next row, and we'll just do little 8 plant, don't worry about it areas where we can throw in whatever remains for the summer, or even do some carryout, sunflowers or whatever, and into fall maybe we'll convert those over and add even more farming capacity. I don't know, we can do full fields and water around them, but at least for the summer I don't think we need to go that far. But we've got 10 grand. It will take us down to 56. So let's just double check here. Am I worried about anything? We can take this up by Sebastian today. Pam wants keg. We don't need to buy anything for that, though. I'm going to do trees over chickens or any other kind of animals just yet. So here we go. I've never done both this early, but that's the quickest 10 grand you're going to spend. We'll go get these planted, and then we'll go to the ice, like level 40 in the mines. Just to wrap up the rest of this low luck day. We may get some more mobs there. We've already got a rusty spoon, and unfortunately, I don't think that sells for much of anything. But I can't remember. Quality Crops has a quality prize. It is either another bee house or a keg, I think. Or a preserves jar. That's good too. We don't have to make one now. So, and we need a jelly for artisan goods, and um, Harvey loves pickles, so that becomes a good gift, and it's just good extra cash. We can just have that bumping along here now without having to spend any resources. Hey, Harvey, I know you're Harvey. Harvey is over there, but Demetrius, what's up, dude? That was very thoughtful of you. No problem. He's deep in thought. Okay, fine. What? But you're talking to me still. All right, study the plants. Have fun. I should have given him a sweet pea. Oh, hop is a plant, though. You want a hop? I'll eat one. See, they're good. Here, have one. Thanks. That's very kind of you. You're very welcome. Okay, moderate sunlight yet. Sunburns, we'll take care. We'll stay healthy, or at least try. So now we gotta go back, get the axe, and maybe pick up the scythe. I'll just dump that. We could make a, I don't even remember what the rusty thing becomes, but I don't recall it as being an awesome piece of clothing, so. Future years. Alright, you two, come with me. Get a little bit more hay here. There, and then trusty steel axe. You have work to do. I know typically I'd let these grow up, and they aren't in any real danger of threatening the fruit trees, but I want them to be fully buffered. Okay, so here's kind of the layout. This path will extend down, so we'll have, and I think they need a full ring on either side, so I think we have to go on the edge here, and then 1, 2, 1 here, 1, 2, and then 1 here, and it's on the edge of the path. But being that these are fall, I think I'm going to put them down, and I'm going to move them one off the pond, just because I always worry about the fruit falling in. So let's do the apple, and then I like to give these a little bit of breathing space. So just like the saplings, we'll go 3 in between vertically, and then we can do the other seasons. Summer's in the middle, and spring's over here on the end. And we'll have a nice 1 each variety of our fruit trees, and we should have a bunch of apples and pomegranates. That takes care of the required pomegranate in the bulletin board, and the up to 4 apples that we can use both in exotic foraging or artisan or something, and then there's 3 in the fodder bundle, I believe. So those are all good, and like I said, now we're broke. So while this wood is fun, let's get it back over. Oh, let's. I can do this. Wish that littlest tree would grow up a little bit so it was safer. I'm not particularly worried about. Oh, the pine tar is lagging behind. That's whatever. Speaking of whatever, got a blueberry. Let's drop a blueberry in, and I will eventually make 1 more preserve jar, just to have a pair of them, but it can sit right there, or I can move it off to the side. Why did I get a full half stack of blueberries? All right, here we are in evening. Oh, and I need a flounder for Sebastian too, right? I guess the good news is, we could probably go into his room now, actually. I actually talked to him quite a bit. So, there we go. Hey, I see the count reflected again, so I'm assuming we've got that ongoing ant lurk. I don't know if he's... Didn't check the schedule or anything. I don't know if he's streaming, but you guys should definitely check him out. Antheos Live, good friend of the channel over here, and he was nice enough to shout me out. He does a lot on his Discord. I think we were talking about that when something went crazy over here. Hey, Heron, wading gracefully through the morning mist, such are the treasures of a quiet life. Good job, Linus. Saw a great blue heron last weekend when I was out disc golfing, and they're not uncommon or anything, and they're big old birds, so they're pretty obvious when they're moving around. There we go. But it was taking off over a pond. There were kind of people disc golfing all around it. A couple geese had come in or whatever. For whatever reason, it took off, and it, kind of, they're so big they take a little bit to really get moving. They're not like a hawk or even a sparrow or something like that just instantly is flying around. They are kind of build up some momentum. It's like a big old cargo plane or a Dreamliner or something, as opposed to a little prop, right? The little prop takes off and within a second on the runway, it's up in the air, and then the pilot can pretty much start, doing flips and whatnot as he's going up. It doesn't take a ton. Big, heavy flight vehicles take a long runway, lots of fuel, and they need to get that takeoff going before they can really start to climb. So that's what he did. It was beautiful. Let's see what he's working on. Again, we talked through all of this. It was crazy, or it isn't crazy at all. Sebastian told us to wait while he was finishing up his work, so I always feel it only makes sense to say, hey, what were you working on? Mind if I ask? What do you got going on? Here comes Robin. Oh, hi, Abigail wants to see you. He doesn't want to see Abigail. Not that he's not interested, he's just busy. And that's all part of his gripe. Sometimes it's tough when friends and family, that they are your friends and family. You're not trying to be a jerk, but you got things that are priorities, and you're hitting your stride. Maybe you're right in the middle of momentum, and then they're like, oh, but it matters, and it does, and it's right. You can't leave friends hanging, especially if it's something. But if it's just Abigail killing time and she's wandering by the deal, that's where you need to open up a little bit. And I think Sebastian is probably a guy to whom that doesn't just come naturally. He probably isn't like, oh, hey, I'm so glad you're here. I'm right in the middle of this. Do you know what I do? Is that interesting to you at all? I can tell you about it a little bit, but if you don't mind, I'm right in the middle of it, and it takes a lot of concentration. So maybe we can catch up later. Because if that's not natural, it can then seem, that's this whole dialogue. It can then seem very cold and off-putting. Why don't you want to see Abigail? I think he really likes her. He likes having her in the band as a drummer. I don't know if they've gotten that far yet, and if if the two of us, Abigail and I, don't hit it off, he and Abigail will probably settle down. And knowing from many years of happy marriage with Meru, she often talks about how he really likes Abigail and all that. So I think he could have something a little further and reciprocate her interest, and not seem like he didn't want to spend time with her if he just kind of engaged her a little more on the fact that, hey, you're important to me, so is my work, and when I'm with you, I really want to be focused on you. When I'm working, I can't effectively work if I'm not fully focused on the work. So there you go. I give him that slack. I don't think he's a deal. So it's fun to chat with him. That's his first little check-in. It's a lot of clicking. Good little conversation topic, though. Especially after the pandemic, back when we first received this game from Concerned Ape, there was, this seemed, it wasn't unheard of, but it wasn't something everybody did. Now, I think everybody can relate to, oh, I'm working from home. And, if you had to do school or work or anything from home, you can probably now very well relate to Sebastian. And I wonder if I don't know if the game or anything is tracking. what are the typical distributions of decisions in all those things, knowing that a lot of people just want to mess around and get reactions and all that kind of stuff. It's like putting the lucky purple shorts on the fair display. Sometimes it's fun to just be bad, right? Do the wrong thing. But I wonder if the skew of asking about his work and kind of sympathizing with the fact that he's in the middle of something has gone up since the pandemic, and with everybody now familiar with, oh man, I remember when I was trying to do my schoolwork and my little brother or sister, or my friends that I share a house with, or whatever the case may be, they're like turning up the TV in the minute. It's like, just give it a rest. Don't you know that whatever I'm doing is not easy? So give me an hour, and then I'll come play video games with you or whatever. But I would imagine that's now. I get that. I don't have to imagine what Sebastian's going through there when people don't respect his work. Oh, I thought we already had a ladder here. I'm not gonna lie though, guys. I don't think the two were related. I don't. Something was funky, and that's why I had to just reboot everything. Something was funky with the audio getting started. It wasn't me, but it was a night last night. We went up, did the old trivia thing again, which was great. And while if you're playing trivia, the goal is not to just get hammered or anything like that. You want to keep your wits about you, and sadly, we as happens, we didn't have the right stuff and got 6th place, I think. And it was a smaller night. There were only like a dozen teams. Sometimes they're up to 20, but we've won a few times, and it just wasn't our night. But it was fun to see everybody, and one of my friends had just a bit of minor kind of surgery stuff going on, and she was back out for the first time, so it was good to see her out and about, and getting after her husband, who's one of our friends too. We'd got to reach out and be like, hey man, if you want, come hang out. And he was like, oh yeah, well hey, I just we just got to load into the car. We're going. She's like, oh, she's coming too. That's awesome. Great to see you guys. So that was a huge blast. But again, outcome could have been better. We'll dust ourselves off and do it again sometime. But while anybody who's heard any of my stuff knows I'm a bigger hockey fan than a basketball fan. I'm actually a season ticket holder and still a big fan of CU basketball, but NBA stuff, it's just not. There's only so many things you can follow passionately, right? For me, with the 2 seasons being nearly identical, I'm a hockey guy, and that's what I played as a kid. It's in all honesty, although I love a lot of sports and they vary quite a bit, hockey's probably my favorite of like any team sport that you would see to play or to watch or anything. Even just walking into an indoor ice arena, you get that kind of smell of the Zamboni juice that they make the ice out of, and the refrigerants to keep them cool. It's like, oh yeah, I'm in the right place. So, and I think a lot of people have that for some people walk out onto a cricket pitch, right, and it's like the alignment of the lines and the two little wicket spots and the line, the bowler bowls down and all that. I don't know my cricket terminology. I just kind of pulled that one out of here as a game I really don't know anything about. But some people, I'm sure it's the same feeling. So I'm kind of in pre-playoff mode. There's two games left for the Colorado hockey team, the Avalanche. But last night was an elimination game for the Denver, Colorado basketball team, the Denver Nuggets. And they had won their last game after going down 3-0. And that's not a good spot, but you play or you win or you lose. You win or you go home. I guess you always win or lose unless there's ties. But in that in that sense for them, it kind of had become their sweet spot. The previous year, the Denver Nuggets were kind of the same way, and they haven't just been um, top favorites, which in the NBA a lot of times, there's one or two teams and it's like they're so good right now that they've got the right star power and they've got the right cohesion and all the other pieces are in place. And in a short roster game like that, it's very much about the personalities and everybody. It's like a business or anything like that. If you're in a big corporate, everybody isn't perfectly aligned, right? But that's a multi-million dollar endeavor of the leadership to make sure that people are at least working in the right direction. In a mom and pop little business where you've maybe got a dozen total employees, everybody's got to kind of gel. You can't have the one sandbagger. You can't have the one person that's always upset and, just bringing down the attitude of everybody else. When you're in that environment, everybody's got to be working because when there's only 20 of you, you know, take away that productivity of a person over a long enough time, the business isn't going to make it, right? And that's the same thing in basketball, whether it's college or NBA, is you've you've got to have those people have enough skill and have enough skill on your roster, and then the people that are all around them that may not be the superstar, Nikola Jokic, but they're the pieces around that fill out the team. They've got to be good and they've got to be complementary to one another, not one person complaining about his next contract or more interested in his ads and what gigs he can get to make some cash on the side, that kind of stuff. You can't, maybe that works if a whole team is like that and they've all got the right attitude, but the old guy on the team, there's always somebody that's a vet, right? That's kind of, you get them at the right discount because they're not the young guy, and then the kids that are coming up from the D League, somebody that was undrafted that just wants to work hard and hustle, and all those come together, you start to go. Well, the Nuggets last year were close. They got into the playoffs, and of course they've got the MVP going, so they were able to roll in, and each time in their playoff run, they got to the point of being ready for elimination. And then they came back and would win 4 straight games. So they had what's kind of called a reverse sweep, right? That you go down 3-0, you should be eliminated, and then you turn around and come back through and win. And so even though it was looking pretty grim last night, they, having won a game, it was kind of like, well, all right, let's see. Do they got this magic? And sadly, they didn't. It was up to about halftime when I left, when the trivia stuff was over, and I got back home again, and I turned on the game, and it was neck and neck. That's part of NBA. I just, college basketball, there can be runs and everything too, but it just doesn't seem to be quite the same. Like, oh, they're up by 10. Oh, they're down by 4. And then, oh, they're back up by 80. It's very odd to me, the flow. I just don't have that same feel. But sadly, they got back, but within the last 30 seconds or so, they were hovering around 5 points down. And then trying to get fouls and force threes and all that. They couldn't hit their open ones at the end, and it's too bad. I always hate to see my local hometown teams get eliminated, especially when they made it to the playoffs. But shout out to the Denver Nuggets for having made it to the playoffs and still looking, because they had a couple big injuries this year, still looking very much like they've got a team that can be a real threat for a championship. They just need to get a little bit luckier throughout the season and be able to maintain the pieces that they do have that are working well. Maybe look, you always got to be looking to get better, but yeah, so there we go. Congrats to them, and again, hopefully Joker gets another MVP nod this year. I don't know exactly when all that gets announced, or if that's already been voted, or how that works, but he's deserving. So anyway, let's go into our next day. We're gonna kind of be in the same mode here. We need our crops to hit for our uh, money. Yeah, we're already back up to $2,000, so that's how easily it rolls. It's beautiful and sunny day tomorrow. That's good. I'm very displeased. While that's not bad. Oh, we learned how to make sashimi from Linus. Once we get our kitchen going, we'll be ready to rock there. Let's do our daily task of getting our hops. Ooh, we got tomatoes. Now, we do need to look kind of closely at some of these flowers and things because I haven't kept track of the days, and we'll need to replace, if needed, on Wednesday without the access to Pierre. So let's just make sure we're in good shape. Ooh, is this the full red cabbage? There it is. All right, you go away safely in the box before we do anything remotely silly. Hey, it's a silver star one too. Good for us. All right. Tomatoes, more peppers. I don't see that anything's going to be ready to go. I think those are our next melons. Unless we switched those. We might have. The melons might be below our feet, and those might be sunflowers, but none of them look like they're imminently going to blossom. So we won't have to worry about Pierre tomorrow. Alright, what can we sell to start? I think we've got enough gift peppers. We'll go ahead and sell the poppy, honey, sell those. Alright, good. And we're going to start certainly sitting on our oak resin so that we can turn those into the kegs. Tomatoes, more peppers. We're almost up to 100. Hopefully we'll go well past that. Here we've got... Oh, quartz in. There's our root. Excuse me. Wow. And here, magnet ring. I don't know if this does anything. Having a double large magnet, does that pull stuff from everywhere? I was going to throw it in the box, I guess. But, all right. Watering can. That's what we need. And let's go get some juice in it. 68 hops. Each day we don't overuse those. We're good. And maybe this is a day where they're very displeased to head down to the Cindersnap forest, enjoy that a little bit, get some, hopefully there's some forage in there. At least we'll get some slimes, and we'll get the hardwood, so we'll get some forage experience. But then come back and just spend the day on the farm, making improvements, cleaning it up a little bit. We got those oak trees planted, but we can maybe clear that far edge, the far vertical edge, over on the very left of the farm, the west, and get that set for trees, or begin to, and maybe even get up and plant trees. Really don't know where I want to begin. I kind of, depending on how many seeds we end up with, kind of want those to fill up that far area. Takes less clearing. We can do more planting quickly, but I do want to clean around here. And we just need so much stone. I could use every stone we've got here around the farm and on the trees and all that, and there's a lot of reason to do that, but we also need stone for barns and coops and house upgrades and all that kind of stuff, so yeah. I think we're doing even better on the timing today. That's a good thing. It is only just past 10, and we're almost done with the chores. And that's pretty typical all the way around once we've got our farm clicking, because it just takes that much time to go around, run around and harvest everything. There will be fish ponds and truffles to gather and stuff to throw into kegs and all that. So let's take everything. What do we have? We have 500 and some stone. Our seeds aren't bad. Let's do this. Oh, we still need to go down. I'm already like getting ready to do the tree planting stuff, but we really should go down to Cindersnap. So let's try to stone our way through. Hey, more stone. Again, this is the side down from these silos on this edge that I'd really like to be able to get that tree area set. But to manage it here, you really need the full stone pathways to keep other stuff from blocking your access between the trees. You really need that everywhere. Noon. I don't know what. Was that just one of those funky weeds? And of course it wouldn't be right if we didn't have just a little bit of need to swap between tools. Alright, well that's a good start. I'll need to clean up that lower area. That was kind of when I was like, we should spend time on the farm because that walkway is getting threatened by those trees a little bit. We've mowed the grass a few times, which take when we have no energy, but it's gonna take a little bit more to get that whole area cleaned up. So maybe no fiddleheads because of the luck. A lot of times that means there's more slimes. And you get 8 to 10 of them. Do that 100 times. You're close to your slime charmer ring thing, whatever it is. So and it's really all these goodies that you're getting along the way, but having easier slimes to run through and one hit isn't a bad thing either. I hear you. Where are you? Is that the one over to the left, or is there one down here with us? There's another mahogany seed. Those are slow to grow, so... Oh, he is in there. Take that. Oh, we got one. Oh, there's no one down here. So anyway, I was talking about the nuggets and the trivia and all that. So I listened to that whole game, which didn't start until 8, so it got done sometime after 10. And then over on YouTube, I was watching the hockey guy, who's a channel I discovered during the pandemic. And he's just, I think I've talked about it before. I'm a subscriber in YouTube. It doesn't cost me anything, but I certainly try to give him a lot of good comments and views and thumbs up and all that, because while he's huge relative to my feeble endeavors here, he's one of those guys that is producing amazing content, being himself, doing it his way, and I've got to imagine he's making a decent living through doing it. Not, not blowing it away. And he's certainly not the biggest of channels, but he makes so much content, and you can tell that it's the kind of thing where only a person that is truly passionate about something, in this case, a guy that's passionate fan of hockey, would put in the time to do something like that and to do it really well. And from the comments that he makes throughout his various videos, he said, I've watched this much hockey, like literally every single game of every single season since I was a kid. That's normal to me, and I am gonna spend that time anyway. And my wife and my kids, everybody understands that that's a big part of who I am. It's not gonna change. And I came to the realization that if I'm putting that much time into something that is not my job, and then I have to go to a job and do the same, that's unsustainable, and it's toxic, bad, unhealthy, not enough time for, especially when you're a father and a husband and all that. I had to figure out a way to make this work. So he does preview videos and recap videos for every single day of the NHL season. So he goes, if you go look today, there will be at least a preview video up for, all the videos are up. I just go back through all these years. But you'll at least see that there's a preview video up for the games coming up today and tonight. And that, depending on the number of games, that could be anywhere from 1 to 16? 32 teams, is that right? So any of those possible number of games, all there for your consumption. He's got a process, he's got a formula for how he breaks down the games, and it's not gambling, it's nothing like that, but he's a guy that you can't say a name of any player in the NHL and he's not going to know who that person is, where they play, probably, be able to give you a pretty competent rundown of the places that they've played or been traded between over the years. And all of this is largely done, and a lot of it, he takes a lot of notes, and he kind of illustrates what he has to do to get through some of these busy nights and all that. Just cool, just seems like a regular dude, but willing to, I'm just such a good, I don't know why the audio's not going, but I'm not going to hide it from people. I'm not so polished or professional that we can still try to do something with that. Let's get all this put away. Got 100 stone, some geodes out of that, a little bit of coal. Let's cook what iron we do have. Oh, we only got 2 pieces. We can do gold as well, though. Might as well have all this stuff cooked that we can now. I don't know what happened. Cooked and ready to go, so we don't get in that tough spot where it's like, oh, I gotta go get the ore and then cook the ore and all that. Just keep what you have. Turn this back a little bit again. Hey, more mushrooms. Thanks, Demetrius. Tomorrow is Sam's birthday. Can't forget about that. But anyway, so I watched all this hockey guy stuff. Huge recommendation. If you can't tell from me just talking about it, I've been endlessly impressed with the guy's dedication. I don't always agree with his takes, and as he says, no fan is going to agree with. He's got his own ideas from having watched that. Again, he's not associated to the league unless he's really, really, really hiding something. But I don't think so. I think he's making money off YouTube ads, and I think has, like many people, has sold some merch in the past, but doesn't do that too regularly. I think here is where we want to begin. So we'll get those done most importantly, right? We don't have to stay out here late, but we got the energy, so let's go back through and clean up. And then maybe what we'll do is just run the far edge. The forage, get it? It's like forage. It's awful. So this one doesn't matter too much, and then we'll have a path, and then this will be a row as well. So there'll be stone there, and here we've still got 500 at home. So let's do these 100. This will at least get some trees growing for us, right? That are our... What did I do? Oh my gosh. This is how we stay out late at night. Okay, is that it? So are those still all pine cones? I know it's late. This was a mistake. This is what happens when we make mistakes. Okay. There we go. What the heck? Yes. Police and trooper support fund. That's the one they hit you with when you're young. Like, oh man, if I don't have that little sticker, they're gonna pull me over. Just be a good driver. They won't have any reason to pull you over. So, watch Hockey Guy videos, and you guys should check them out if you like the sport at all, or if you want to learn more about the sport, because you'll definitely start to learn stuff. And I'm sure he'll have new content coming up around the playoffs, and knowing that he's got a chance to grow his audience, it would be kind of silly not to put some effort in there. But for example, outside of the previews and the reviews, he did one recently about kind of like the violent history and where penalty calling is, head injuries, and all that kind of stuff that you talk about in all kinds of sports. Certainly, the NFL has been a big thing there. But what are the various contact penalties? What do they imply? How have they changed over the years? And because it's a game that goes back to before 1900, you got a lot of stuff. There was actually one person who's ever been banned for life, and it was for assaulting the referee. Like, basically they were like, he's turning around and punching refs and when he's starting brawls and all that, and they're like, no, the referees are largely there to prevent violence and injury. Not prevent violence, because in a game where you can have full body contact, it's violent, right? Getting checked into the boards is a violent act. But it's what is intentionally or likely to cause injury, and thereby done it, and where has acts crossed the line into criminal activity, and all this good stuff that it's relevant and interesting, and it's cool that he does those kind of off to the side, totally unrelated to that. But anyway, I was going back in. I was like, oh, I've missed quite a bit. I want to catch up a little bit, so I was watching the full review, which was like 50 minutes from all the games that night, and then he had that one on the penalties, and there was A couple others, he does. Usually, we'll do like one video of news of the day and all that. So I was catching up. By the time I went to bed, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh no, here we go. So that's why I'm a little long-winded and rambly today. I did not get a lot of sleep, but yeah, it's a price you pay. Playoff time, guys, and hockey's just about to get going. So clear and sunny. It's fine. Hey, very happy spirits day. Good. And coleslaw. And we got some growth work done on our farm. Makes it feel a little more established. That guy I'm going to try to leave so he will catch up to the others. That was the one that got taken out in the very first lightning storm, like on day 3 of the month, and I was like, I can replace that, and so if possible, we'll get it back on cycle with all the others, so I don't have to pick it every single time. Although I guess, we pick it today, and the other ones aren't on cycle to give us one more. We might get one more tomato harvested as a result, so maybe we will pick it. Also makes watering more difficult, because it's where I have to click with the cans. I guess we'll probably click it, leave it off sync with all the others. Alright, so without as much to harvest today, a little quicker on the timing. Maybe we can be even closer to 10 a.m. when we get done with all this. We've got Sam's birthday. I keep reminding myself of that. Probably try to make it into town just to check the board as in our tracking him down and giving him the pizza. Usually, I think he's got like afternoon time at Joja for his job, but I think we're good enough friends already to be able to maybe go track him down. Thanks to the dance and thanks to the luau. And just having talked to him a bunch, I think we've given him at least one random gift. I'm going to run over and get those coffee beans. Now, sadly, there's spring summer, so I haven't been planting any. I didn't do that 4th little square, and I'm not replacing the red cabbage or any of those spots with more beans. I don't think they'll grow up into the full bush to be able to start giving us more. We may as well hold them 4 every other day and just be ready to go next spring, or in the greenhouse, whichever comes first. One of the things I've thought would be cool, speaking of Sam and his birthday, I'll give him a little shout out. He has a couple comments about the sky, and it's one of those things, right? We can't see the sky in Stardew. Aside from the opening scene when you're riding on the bus into town, and like a little bit when we're first boating to Ginger Island, I think we get a little look at clouds over the top of the ocean, but that's about it. But we get these little shadows that go over our farm here, especially in the summer. You'll see these big fluffy clouds come over, and sometimes they're a little interesting as you're trying to water, and like, oh, has that been watered or not? Or they just give you a shadow rolling across the land a little bit. But Sam says one time he talks about how the clouds remind him of giant scoops of vanilla ice cream, and then, oh, maybe I'm just hungry, teen or 20-year-old guy or whatever, never-ending appetite kind of deal. But I think that's enough, right? Can we do 2, or are they 50s? I think they're 40s, right? There we go. And did we have anything? Yes, we got these to store. So there we go. We got 20 coffee beans already. We should get easily one more batch. We'll get a couple more than that. So we should have over a full farm section by the time we're done here. Sell that tomato. Put this extra wood away. Tap these 2 pine trees. No! Dang it! I used the wrong tool. I was trying to hit it with the hoe, and I had gotten the sword again. That is an oak, and fortunately it was tiny, so we're not. But I mean, it also took that long to grow. So, eeks. Okay. Sam's birthday pizza. Then I think we'll probably go to the mines. Where did I leave that? Up here. Pizza. Let's put this away. In case we get sent down to the wizards, I'll hang on to the axe. Lots of sweet peas. No chance to sell any of this at Pierre's today, but I do want to check that board, and I want to try to catch Sam hopefully before he goes to work or on his way, so we don't have to run all the way over there. But I don't know his schedule that well. Nothing on the board, and after Sam, Demetrius on. It was one day. There we go. Hey, come here. You need pizza. Birthday gift. That's very kind of you. I love it. I know you love pizza. Hey, taking the day off? Well, it's your birthday, right? It's like a holiday, isn't it? Oh, it's not? Okay, I better go get to work then. All right, well, now we don't have any reason to go all the way to Cindersnap. Let's go try to use this Gold Star Luck Day on mining and hopefully just getting buried in iron. And bloop. And oh, bloop. Oh, I should put this away though. And that's probably not what I want to do. I think I want to come down here and do a double path here and not get all those. Come on. Because we'll have the barn tucked up against there. Oh, what? Stop being difficult. Alright, and then we need to trim up future chicken feed. There. 11. Let's go down here because we want to... Oh, we should make a keg. Do we have enough to make a keg? This is a good luck day. I should have done all this yesterday. I don't think we had any iron then, though. We need a iron, a copper, bunch of wood, and an oak resin. Can I make 2 of them? 2 if we can. And how's our coal? Can I just get... stone. No metal, but stone, and then a lot. I knew it had a lot of coal in it. Right, well, that's the last one of those we'll ever have to make. All the hops. I wanted to make the pale ales anyway, and we might as well use a hop to make a pickle. Just crafting and all that we'll want one anyway. We can sell it or give it. Doesn't matter. Grab some of this coffee before we hit the mines. Fancy coffee day today. I had a little vanilla flavored coffee over the top. I can't imagine. I don't know. I'll get like the little bag. I get cans of basically cheap, no-name coffee, because I'm not. I get it. A lot of people are, and beers and stuff like that. I generally, if it's just it's been a day and I'm gonna have a beer while I'm sitting out, either nice evening or whatever, or listening to a game or something like that. If I'm just here, I'll just have like a Coors Light. Something. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. If I'm out at a restaurant, though, I certainly will pick and choose and decide. I want to have something that has complex flavors and all that kind of stuff. So I can get your discrimination and what being discriminating, not in a any kind of a human way, but discerning between quality and not. But for coffee, get me something hot and coffee flavored and not too fancy. And then if I just add in a little bit of that flavor, but I don't know how people handle the crazy, like you just buy some French vanilla coffee and make a full, like that's everything you use to make the coffee. That would be so overwhelming to me. Because even the little bit I just sprinkle over the top of the rest of the coffee grounds is pretty powerful for me. It's ambitious, but I'd like to come out of here with 100 iron and 20 coal. I don't know if we'll get there, but that's the goal. We don't have a ton of time. We've got hot power, so we don't have to worry about going home particularly early, and we don't have to worry about too much about running out of energy. We've got the good luck to move through the levels, hopefully fast. Speaking of which, power up here. See the portal. Hopefully I'll see more than just this one iron node before we go in it. Portal. Very Minecrafty of me. Alright, it's almost 6 and we got a quarter of the way to our little goal. I don't know how we're doing on coal though. We haven't really seen any of the dust sprite guys, have we? There's some. Coal or iron, or nothing. Third of the way. Minus a third. Awesome. Alright, our number's 6. Man, the coal part of this equation is not keeping up. But we're getting a little bit of bonus copper. That's good. We do... Oh. do need some of that, and I will actually take these torches. Our farm is growing. Got more paths to light up. Hey, there's a bonus iron. Alright, here we go. I was gonna say, we've really stalled out. Frozen tear. Hey, you guys want to give me some coal? I know it's kind of a rare drop. Oh! Let's go check just to make sure. Not quite halfway. 9 o'clock. Iron Edge. Sadly, I think this is back. Yeah, this is back. You could get that as a drop wherever, but now that we've already been up to get the Obsidian Edge, it'll be good. We'll add it to our collection. So we haven't seen it. Stones. Uh-oh. There we go. at least get someone extra coal. Dun, dun, dun. 11. Well, we are not gonna make our goals, are we? It's too bad. I really hope I didn't walk right by a ladder. I'm trying to keep track, and like as soon as we get one, I try to reset the priorities. 49, I think, is the bad level, or is that 59? Yeah, that's 59. Oh, this is actually a pretty good one. Isn't this the one with the upper right full of chests and then ore scattered all over that big open room? I think that's the one. Oh, yeah, here we go. No chests, but... hopefully decent in the ore department. Or a little dust spriggy environment. Alright, that's good. Anything over here, Jim? Nope. And... oh, pecans. There we go. Almost 2/3. And hey, I mean, we got 63 pieces of iron. That's a lot of little loads to cook. And how we do on the coal? We got 12 of the coal, and I'd said 20 there, so... not terrible. Had we not messed around with the cobble path, making the casks, or the kegs, and the preserves jar, and some of that kind of stuff, probably would have been able to better use this high luck day. Oh well. It's all going to be progress. There. Those. I gotta remember, it is late. Do the overnight cooks on those. We've got another copper bar. And that's certainly better. We can keep pushing. We've certainly replaced all the stone that we had. Try to get those laid out tomorrow. It's going to go inside. That needs to go there. 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 to bed. All right, another not quite as good. We didn't get the nearly 2,000, but 1,800, and it wasn't a huge crop day. We had the one random tomato, the poppy. That's where honey really helps out, right? You're getting on a random day where we didn't have any peppers to sell, we didn't have blueberries or corn or anything, crazy money. Just the trickle of hops and the tomato would have been really quiet day, but we almost double all that with some poppy honey. So good stuff. All right, this is our day off, and then tomorrow is Demetrius's birthday. Beautiful and sunny. Glad his birthday is going to be nice. Neutral spirits. Lightning storms, we're already ahead of that. Should have done better here. Let's start here. We can probably get 2 runs of this copper done in the time it takes us to harvest and maybe do a bit of the watering and then get iron going too. It wouldn't be a bad idea to, I'm not going to have enough coal to do it, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to get some refined quartz going too. Alright, so there's our first, honey counts, but so made just the tree forage stuff, but maybe our truly first crafted ourselves artisan good, where we weren't just relying on the efforts of the bees. Oh, I had blueberries right in my hand. Look at that. Let's leave it for now, and top it off. All right, I think we want to sell all that. Oh, I should have been doing iron. Although it'll probably be tomorrow before we really want to do it anyway. We've got the money, so we want to get the pick up to iron, which is another good reason to go back to the mines. And I think we got to stay in the frozen because it's our best chance for coal, right? Right? Throw that away. Drop this off. Oh, wait. I haven't even watered anything yet. Doesn't work quite that effortlessly yet. So maybe that iron will be done by the time we get done. Because I realized I was skipping over the copper. I just didn't put it. Oh, the reason why we had enough time to switch that out was because I hadn't done any watering yet. It's kind of wild. It feels money-wise like this is really taking off, but we're really setting everything up for year 2 rather than year 1, right? Because strawberries were a huge investment of early game money and a lot of time to basically just sit on. We sold the silver ones and a couple of the golds, but basically we just sat on all the plain ones for seeds for next year. And the coffee is the same deal. We're not using any of that, but again, we're going to go into spring year 2 likely having 72 or 75, depending on the sprinkler situation, strawberries ready to go to start the year, and hopefully a huge amount of coffee beans to get started. And either one of those could be trimmed back by the greenhouse. But I don't know. We haven't started animals yet, so it may be well into winter before we even get that going. We'll try to push that too. But all right, 70. So we did use a lot of hops. We gave some away yesterday as well. All right, so now the decision is, do we... It's a neutral day today. We can make a couple more kegs during the next couple days. We'll want to go see Demetrius. We should certainly be confident doing some fishing. Torches to put up, a whole lot more tree setup stuff that we could be doing. So let's just go ahead and get the steel axe, right? We could try to go get more coal, but we'll be a more efficient miner having done that than not. That can go away. Those are going to Clint's. Do we have anything for Gunther here? I know there's the diamond. Still kind of sitting on that. We don't get a lot of random junk in here. How did I get so sloppy? This was for cooking. I'll leave those in here, but... think that... Man, let's just take the sweet peas. We already got 10. We'll give them to people. Seems like we're carrying around a lot of stuff. We're carrying around quite a bit, but if we see bubbles or anything on a big winding track to the cinder snap forest, I want to be able to fish them now. And I'll at least get one of these. Oh, it's the happy summertime song. Alright, Demetrius tomorrow, and then looking ahead, Willie next Wednesday. That all works. Alliteration. And then nothing else until the Lunaloos. So yeah, what do we want to give Demetrius? Hot pepper, Linus. I got you, buddy. That we can do. Let's get this stuff done, though. Because Linus, we can show up for his place any hour of the day or night. He doesn't have a whole lot to say about it. Can't. What's up, buddy? I'm sorry. I'm gonna upgrade my tools. Yeah. I knew you needed a little infusion. Oh, I was trying to brighten your day a little bit with a sweet pea. I kind of figured that was not his ideal gift, but hey, man, sitting in a presumably fairly windowless blacksmith shop, it would be kind of hot and stuffy. I don't know. I don't think it is, I'm not one who goes out and like buys cut flowers or anything like that, but I don't think a room is any less pleasant for having some flowers in it. To see, I want to find out what status does Sweet Pea have with Clint, because his kind of funny. Not a favorite. Normal. Oh, it's not even a normal. Disliked. Sorry, Clint. I really didn't mean to give you something you actively disliked, but seriously. I don't care how macho you think you are, tough guy, the hardened, like, out of prison dude that's maybe flipping burgers at a greasy spoon truck stop or something, like whatever. Think stereotypical movie tough guy, right? Doesn't matter. The juxtaposition is there, and I 100% get it. They're not going to go out of their way. Oh, I'm going to go pick a bundle of fresh wildflowers out of the ditch. No, but they probably are not like, I hate that. It makes me angry to see nature and just pretty colors and have a good scent of something if you gave it to them. What? Crazy. Our dad used to take us to the beach on sunny days like this. He's away getting dodging the bullets, right? Dad ever gonna come home? Of course he is. But I heard some grown-ups saying that all of our troops are getting shot to pieces. Which of those grown-ups? That's in. What is it? Sedition? Sedition. Don't believe everything you hear. True. Don't you remember how strong Dad is? He never let a pathetic Gatoro grunt get him like that. Don't you worry. Always remember that Mom and I are here if you ever feel lonely. Well, that's good, Sam. Good big brother. Okay. See ya. And we talked through this one a whole lot. He's got his own doubts, like that, and that's perfectly natural, right? You can't. Kids will freak out. They don't have context and big scary ideas like that. They don't. For one thing, they just can't process that, right? Like the idea of a soldier is a toy, marching around in a brightly colored uniform and something you get at Christmas time, right? It's a different concept than even a young adult has after they begin to understand, there's countries and it got enough history to know what war has been like in the past. Little kid, presumably Vincent's age, that's just begin. It's basic counting and addition and subtraction kind of stuff. I think, when. Oh, 1 second, guys. guys, we got excitement. Woo-hoo-hoo. That was really cool. And I apologize for the interruption. It's very uncommon for me to get a knock at the door like that. So went over, and it was one of the office folks from my place here. And like I've many times talked about how much I appreciate the people here and how they take care of us. So she came over and was like, "Hey, I just wanted to ask you because I think it's right, but that white Forerunner out in the parking lot, that's yours, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." Has been for years. And she's like, "Well, I wanted to let you know in advance, don't touch your door handles. We may have the police come out and check it." And I'm like, should I go look at it? And she's like, no, 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 no. Somebody, one of the maintenance people, saw these like, kind of sketchy looking people moving through our parking lot, and apparently they had kind of a car that was, I don't know all the details, right? But the car, there was a suspicious car that was creeping, and there were these people walking along beside it, and they thought they saw them do the like back up next to my truck and do the arm behind the back reach on the door handle thing. And I said, "I'm pretty sure it was locked." She said, "Yeah, they don't think that they got into it, but they think they may be able to pull a print on it if the police want to come in and pull it." So that was kind of cool. She's like, "I didn't want you to freak out, if they come through." And for that, and you guys, I don't know if they would approach me first. So I may, if I get another knock or anything like that, I'm just gonna kill the stream. But it's very exciting, and it's kind of cool. It's not cool that people go around and do that. And I was like, "Man, that's crazy." So this was like last night or something. And she's like, "No, this was like 45 minutes ago." And we just saw him pulled the license plate of the car that they were driving around the parking lot in, and that was a stolen car. And they guessed that the people were either just trying to go through and loot a bunch of stuff, or were trying to pull another stolen car to get away. Keep kind of moving through. So, hey, it's Colorado cops coming to you live from Happich's house. But very cool. And I, listen, I understand times are tough for everybody, but don't be a jerk and go breaking into other people's cars. That's not the way. You're just gonna wreck somebody else's life because you're selfish. Nah, that's not cool. I don't care if you got kids at home and you got to feed them, and times are tough, and you're pinching it. And it didn't sound. She's like, "We got a really good description, including the triple X tattooed on the guy's cheek." So yeah, these guys seem to fit a profile. I don't know. We'll find out, but that's wild. Wild to she's like, "Yeah, I've got a can of bear spray in my hand." And I was like, "Do we have bears too?" Because I'm excited. Like, I'd love to go see a bear. We do have a cool green belt that basically runs all the way to the foothills of the mountains. It's not impossible. You definitely can see them where I'm at. It would be very unexpected. Like, you get up into places like Boulder, where the houses are kind of right on the edge of the foothills, and it's a regular deal in the spring. Bears are stuck up in trees. Because I was like, "So we have a bear too?" And she's like, "No, this is for the people in case they jump out or come after me." I was like, that's safe, I guess, but very cool. So if you live in a place where people are that manage it and run it are that responsive and that reach out, she's like, "I wasn't even going to call you on the phone. I figured that this one needed a face-to-face talk." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome. It's so cool." So she was awesome. So good. Anyway, here we are back to Sam and his gritty moment. Not quite the same as having a car broken into, but it's best to be honest with kids, or you did the right thing. Kids should have hope. And I've talked about how I don't think that this precludes what he told him, and I don't think that his having told Vincent that his dad would be okay. Wow, excuse me, hiccups. That his dad would be okay is a problem with being being intentionally deceitful. You've got to believe anybody who has a family in the military or anything like that. You don't spend every day dwelling on the fact that they may come back. If you are, you're going to struggle as a military spouse or a kid, and I think I don't have a lot of firsthand experience with this. I haven't had members of my close family, serve in Afghanistan or the Gulf or anything like that. And thank you guys if you do. But from what I've heard and from what I know of people, it, you deal with those disasters. If you do lose a loved one, you deal with them, but you don't spend a full time of deployment dwelling on the possibility of what could happen. You gather and support and the other families in the unit, other military community folks, and you talk about all the good things that are going to happen when that person does come back. You very much plan for the stuff. And nowadays, modern world, the face chats and all that kind of stuff is amazing. And you basically just live as you would if the person was working remotely. Now, in a particularly hot military zone, or if there's secrets and all that kind of stuff, you may not just be able to voice chat every day, but as duties and things cycle in rotations, you get that chance to see a face and talk in real time. It's semi-real time. There may be some lag or whatever, but pretty cool. So I don't think that giving kids hope is necessarily the bad thing to do. But I played with both, and he definitely responds. Like, he takes this one as an affront that you're calling him out for having misled Vincent in telling him that, oh yeah, your dad's going to come home, he's going to be fine, nothing's going to happen to him. I think it's entirely appropriate for a young kid, the 5, 6. You don't tell him, hey, I'm pretty sure dad's going to be okay, but he might die. Of course not. They're little kids. If something happens like that, and there's parents and folks that you probably know a family or something like that where a young kid loses a parent, that's not even the context of how it's explained to them. It's not how they process it. So he absolutely did the right thing, and both of his reactions, he's going to get the little dots there and seem a little unsure, but he definitely gets the stormy cloud of frustration, I guess, if you call him out the other way. So yeah, of course they should play and have fun, and naturally they will. Even kids that are going through traumatic and grieving type processes, they grieve in their own way, but their brains and their body chemistry, I guess, whatever. I don't know. I'm kind of talking on my butt here, but they're designed that yeah, they'll have cycles of sadness and crying, like outlets, and probably misbehaving some as they work through that. But they'll also have times when they're off just playing, because you're in their way of adapting to the world and teaching a human as a youngster. They're constantly observing and testing and learning and developing those neural brain connections and all that. So their body is designed to cycle through. It's why they run around like crazy, and then they're out cold taking a nap. It's like a puppy. So and here we go, Abigail and Sebastian. They got their little thing going. She's a wife candidate. Let me know in comments or in the chat if you think that as awesome as Haley is, it should be Leah, Penny, or Abigail that we really look to settle down with, maybe in year 2. Oh, some decent forage. We still didn't see any bubbles, but we got a cutscene. Oh, and speaking of one of them, this is a really nice gift. Thank you. You're really welcome. It is a beautiful sound. Okay, have fun. Can't believe that my poor little truck is violated. I would laugh. So I've got mentioned this before. I've got a a Forerunner that is probably older than a lot of you here in the chat. It is a 98, I think, Forerunner. And the first car I ever bought when I got a good job and everything out of school and was kind of settling down into life, I got a brand new Honda Accord 2-door. And it was a 2000. So that gives you gives you some idea where I was at. Where I fit on the age spectrum, but yeah. So first car was a new 2000. Loved it, awesome, and I am a huge fan of manual transmission. To me, a part of driving is being in control of how your hey, we got an acorn. How your engine is being geared and reacting to what the driving conditions are. It gives you more control, especially here in the mountains. You know, if you're driving and it's icy and you're on a hill or something like that, you can downshift and let the engine take a lot of that pressure off, just constantly riding your brakes, which you see far too often when you're driving down from the mountains, particularly. And sometimes it's traffic and there's nothing you can do about it. But you see people with their brake lights on the whole way, and it's like, dude, you know how brakes work, right? That's just the pads wearing away to create friction to slow down your vehicle. So when you're doing that over a 40-mile drive out of the mountains once a week, or however many times during winter, that eats up brakes, and your engine is designed to kind of absorb that and handle that load a little bit better. So we're taking this stuff up to... Oh, I didn't go into Cinder Snap. Dang it. Going back. Then we will go up to Linus with our hot pepper for him. We got our fishing pole. Maybe we'll throw the line in once or twice. Just see if we get another... who's it? W fish. Right? Wood skip. Ooh. Two for one. There's a seed. Nice. Alright, let's just throw a line. Oh. I was about to fish, Slimy. Do, 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 do. Hey, well, the fishing didn't seem to be working out that well anyway. I probably didn't give it a fair chance, but slime laid it out pretty clear for us, didn't it? And it gave us a seed, so... And there's another seed. Good day for seeds. Really good day for seeds. And we'll take all those up with us when we go to see Linus with his pepper. I can plant those along with the other ones that are already in the ground. And once we get the big board, having things like hardwood ready grown and ready to be chopped is pretty darn handy. And then once we get all done with all that, then we'll come back down and see if we can do some more work on the farm. I don't know, maybe we'll take a dip in the spa too, because why not? We got the time. It's kind of till we get that pick back. We're just gonna kind of roll and see. We'll have the fishing rod. Sadly, I don't think we really have much to sell to Marlin. Let's do, speaking of having a little bit of extra time, let's do a little bit of cleanup here. So we've got stuff for this chest. For those, we could sell some of those too. Wouldn't be a problem. And no, I still want to push because we got to start racking up farm buildings and stuff. So I think we still need to push for the money out of those. Sell that. Oh, I didn't. How did I miss the driftwood? You there? Oh, I missed the spiceberry. Get you. We'll take the spiceberry because we'll give him a gift too. That'll be separate. Driftwood. How am I doing so bad at this? Time. What has become of you? Hopefully he's around. Sir, I'd like to give you a spiceberry. Super gift. Awesome. And I would like to give you a hot pepper. Thank you. No, man, I gave you 2 things. I don't want anything from you. Alright, not much cash, but makes him happy. Our pale ales are bubbling away in the keg there. Oh, let's go do this. We may not actually. By the time we... Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? Okay, well, at least that makes a little more context, or a little more sense in the context of him standing here by the sauna spa. There we go. So we'll have a little grove that will continue to grow until it's 2 trees all the way across there at that upper area. Just of mahogany trees growing up. And they can basically hang there until we get a deal, or if we're using hardwood, when we get up to like kegs and all that, or casks, at that point we'll just need a bunch and we'll try to harvest and restart them. Okay. Well, we do have one. Just one. We can throw a tapper on that one though, considering we chopped down our other ready oak. Don't think I want to waste a bunch of food and time that we're close enough to bedtime that let's just make that tapper. We can run that back over and we'll just grab the scythe and not... Dude! 3 spam calls out of nowhere. I haven't seen any in a long time. And somebody trying to break into my car today. What nonsense. A lot of these other trees are going to have to go eventually. Oh, the other thing we can do is put down those torches. Light this stuff up a bit. Alright, one here. There. Beautiful. I don't think we have any other torches laying around. Alright. We're low enough on iron that we might as well have some ready. And with that, perfect bedtime. Get our full energy back. Level 9 farming. look at this bad boy. Look at this bad boy, although we don't have any iridium yet. But being that our last level 10 farming will be selecting the artisan and getting the bonus money back for those, it's kind of it. So our watering can won't be more proficient, and our hoe won't either. Um, but now we unlock that recipe and can start at, if we've got idle time or whatever, it's no rush yet. But we can start converting the strawberries into seeds for next year. And if at some point we'll get one, but it may not be in the first year that we get an ancient fruit seed, and we can start grinding those through a seed maker too. So now they're significantly expensive. I think there's some gold and iron and gold involved. Beautiful and sunny and neutral. Perfect. Demetrius is our main guy today. We want to... Ooh. Demetrius and Pam are our main folks today. It's so nice not having to do more than just pluck. Look at all those poppies. Coffee beans. So we'll have to go get some more seeds. We've got basically eight growing days left in the season, which could be some more flowers, maybe another batch of radishes. We can't do more melons, but we did already plant some of those. And here. Oh, okay. Drop those off, that off, those off. There we go. There's 24, so that's a sprinkler tiled area, whether it's in the greenhouse or in a field next year with a iridium sprinkler spot in the middle. And we should get two or three more batches of those. So very good there. Same thing as goes with the corals and some of that kind of stuff. I'm getting to the point where I kind of like to hold on to those. At the beginning of fall, we should get some regular wild honey. That's what we'll sit on, and we'll make a little bit of mead, so that we can at least sell one and maybe give an extra one to Willie, and have a wild honey for the artisan bundle in the community center. But let's get these going. Don't forget to water. So getting exciting here. I'm waiting for those pickles to finish so I can have the two jars at the same time. Because while crops you may get an extra one, it's just less of a pain. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. And here we go. So I'm going to keep the 4 because it just preserves the storage area, right? And then we'll sell these 4 just because they're 2 different stacks. We got 8 giftable poppies here. And that kind of pretty well covers our summer stuff. Penny is a big fan of the poppies. We do need one of those for the community center, so we can't give them all away. And of course we need to water. And I need to try to decide what are we going to do for Demetrius. We'll have to look at our gold star stuff. A blueberry would probably work pretty well. I think we've got a few of those for gifts. I don't think he hates a hot pepper, so we could do that, but I don't think anything that I've got is, at least it's not ringing a bell with me as being loved. I know he's got bean hot pot and one of the mushroom dishes. Once you get, get going. He likes both of those. I think those are kind of the two tips that Meru gives on Demetrius, so a little more trial and error there. Silent, warm summer day, insects floating around. All right, kind of zoning out there. It's nice. Like I said, the insects in the summer. All right, so buy 25 seeds. Take a. Oh, I sold them both, didn't I? Oh, I'm so dumb. Well, I'm sure they weren't the last thing I sold either. Shoot. That's natural though. All right, well, Pam will get her deal. So I don't think he's got. He probably has one that of these that he's got an affinity for, but I don't know what it would be. We should really make a more concentrated effort to roll through some of these items off people's birthdays. So, for instance, let's go when we go up there, right? And Meru is one of the ones that I know. I do know she's got diamond, strawberry, iridium bar, gold bar, battery pack, right? Those are her 5 loved gifts. There aren't foods and all that kind of stuff. That's not her deal. She's the inventor, kind of scientist, right? So let's take a summer spangle. Let's take 2 summer spangles. We're going to take one and see if we hit Caroline while we're in the shop, and we'll take one to Robin if we see Demetrius up at the shop as we go up there. And as long as we're doing that, because we can now get into his room, let's give Sebastian a long overdue deal. It is Friday. Gives. Oh, there's no fruits or anything except for the first one I said, the strawberries for Meru. So she's got a real favorite food, right? It's gonna be tough trying to feign love for any of the other ladies when Meru's my gal, man. I mean, come on. And honestly, strawberries are probably not my top fruit. Like personally, I'd be way blueberry over strawberry. Jelly jam, cherries too. But I doubt you're gonna like this. Oh, that's very kind of you. Awesome. I underestimate you, and I know you will accept this because we already gave you one of those. Caroline, good timing. You love that. Abigail, don't mind that. Well, I'm sorry he's allergic. Can't help it, though. I'm allergic to some things. Not many things, actually, but... Alright, so we need to look at dates. I'm not too worried about any of these regrowable ones. We have yet to grow any wheat, and... probably should grow some, but... Well, you know what? We could do 2 batches of wheat before we even get done. It's cheap. It's quick turnaround. There's not much to it. And maybe I should just stop messing around with it. But, I mean, here's the trade-offs. Either of these, we could do another batch and still get a bunch of money back. The problem with putting these off until fall is that all the fall crops can give you even more money, right? So let's just be good and get it done. If we did radishes, though, they're only 6 days, and I think these are 7 and 8, right? If we did these for 6, we could then turn them and go... No, let's do two batches of wheat. So I'm going to buy 50. You like the indecision, guys? That's how I roll. And I'm already... We've still got a week, but I'm up to the eyeballs in planning here. Let's check. Demetrius may already be down here. It's 1. In fact, let's go up by his house, and then we'll come back down with the wheat seeds to plant. Meru on Fridays sometimes hangs out there. I think. There's another sweet pea. Great. Ooh. See... Oh. It's just not the same. I guess if I know I'm not gonna... Oh, I'm not shy. I'm not shy, Miss Meru. If we're not gonna go... This is one I don't think I've ever intentionally done the... Your dad's being weird. Let's try it. I know it's his birthday. I hope it doesn't make him mad on his birthday. But we got him a gift, man. Be good. No, I got no idea. Her future is so bright, I gotta wear shades. I'm gonna find out that like she or he loves this response, and I've been missing it this whole time. But I don't think I've even seen anybody. So many people ignore Meru in the playthroughs for content. You know, they're all either unaware or, you know, it's just like, oh, okay, well, she's the scientist. I've never done it. Here we go. Your dad was being weird. Oh no, dude! I thought maybe it would be a Meru and me, like, kind of. Oh no, no! What have I done? Oh no! Look at! Oh no! Oh no! 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 It's his birthday. Why did I pick today of all days? Oh no! He's crying. Oh. Oh no! This is awful. This is why I knew I'd never wanted to. I wanted to say a few things to eat the ball about you, but I didn't want to embarrass you. I shouldn't have lied about it. Oh my God. How? You didn't want to embarrass her, huh? Well, this is not embarrassing. Oh my goodness. Oh, now I'm embarrassed. Where's my little tears? That's okay, Dad. I understand. No, she doesn't even know what he said. I totally understand. You were laying down the law here with this crazy farmer guy that keeps walking into our house. Oh, you guys need so many loved gifts. Years of being hot pots for you, Demetrius. Oh, yeah. There's a reason why I've never picked that option. That is a train wreck. Meru, I am devastated by having. Yeah, I don't think I helped. Having caused all that awfulness. Demetrius, dude, I'm sorry. Happy birthday. A birthday gift? That's very kind of you. I love it. Well, I'm glad. He's still just like flashing yellow. He's probably sitting at 4 before his birthday. No, you weren't, dude. You were wise. Your daughter's definitely got a sweet spot in my book, but not this year, not this playthrough. Pretty insulated from the rest of the world here in Stardew Valley. Has its pros and cons. Okay, for science. This has been an awful day, so you're gonna hate this. Thanks. This is really nice. Hey, she got a green. All right. How how are we looking here? Ah, the gifts I don't think were as bad as they were the other day when I gave Clint that sweet pea. Meru still up here at the top. Lewis doing strong. Pierre, Sam, Demetrius. Look at all these 4-heart folks. It's awesome. Emily and Marnie. Then we got Linus, Abigail, Shane, Jazz, Vincent, Sebastian, Evelyn, all at 3. Gus, or Robin, I guess she really needed that good gift. Caroline is at 2. Alex, Penny, Jody, Leah, and then, okay, Clint, bad gift guy. Harvey, Elliot, George, Willie should get a good boost here coming up. And again, most of these people have not yet had birthdays that are at the bottom of this list. Clint, we can begin to correct right now. Gold bars thrown at him. I think any metal bars, really. We're just giving him pretty base gifts with the regularity that he's at the saloon. It's pretty easy to track him down. Wizard? I don't know what all he's super... Oh, no, he loves solar and dark essences. So we can start bringing those down as we go to Cindersap. Maybe we'll do some of that today. Now that we've got our seeds in, we've got all this knocked out. Was there any more deliveries other than having forgotten this one? Nope. Oh, Sebastian. We got his deal. Hey, Sebastian, I caused a complete family drama upstairs. I had a hunch. Yeah. Okay, sorry, dude. I didn't mean to interrupt. Enjoy your frozen tear. Later, guys. Sorry. Happy birthday. Bye. All right, we'll go down, plant our wheat, sell that sweet pea, and then I think we have enough extra that we could take an essence of some kind down to the wizard and start trying to get him so that at least everybody that's in our book right now has a heart. Oh, there's some more trees. I love how... Didn't we just hit those yesterday? I don't think that's typically a daily deal. We can do 3 more oak tappers. I don't know if we have enough copper for that, but a little bit of farming goes a long way here, right? Sell, plant, and then ooh. Again, once we have our steel pickaxe back tomorrow, right? We dropped it off yesterday, so once we have that back, we can hopefully pretty quickly restock our copper supplies too. All right, as much as we need to clean up here, as long as we can get through without, I'm not going to waste the time, because we still have to plant, and then maybe in the evening we'll come back and do some farm cleanup, foragey stuff. All right, another batch to replace those with. Jam those on up here. And we want a void. We should maybe, while we're here, let's look at crafting. and some of the stuff I never look at. Glowstone ring, 5 and 5. That's the good one. We do have 5. We do have 5. And we don't have enough to make more kegs. We can cook one piece. Let's do it. So we'll switch that out. Now we're gonna be willing whenever it's possible. I gotta get here to get rid of the other big magnet ring because this one attracts items and gives us light. It basically combines those two, and it probably, it's probably not as powerful as either one individually. It's probably like taking the two small versions and put them together. I haven't compared all that. I don't know, but the stacking is great, and eventually I think the iridium band does those couple things and more. So here's the other one. I don't care about the sturdy ring. Again, we have to craft all these eventually anyway. This is the possible one. It would help. But I don't see... I guess we're still far enough away from the Ring of Yoba and the Iridium Band. So for now, I think that's a win. And importantly, it gives us light when we're down. Forge. Alright. Keep fighting that until we can get some stone down. But again, steel pick. Big difference there. Alright, what do you got for us? We got some cash. Oh, there's probably something here that Demetrius would have loved. I didn't even think to come down here. Oh, man, that's way too much for cloth, but that's pretty good. Wool is actually what we'd prefer, though. I think with our pomegranate and our apple, we'll look, but I'm not going to buy that. I will buy this, so we have a couple of those. Haley would like the coconut, but she also likes the sunflowers. We got a bunch of those coming. So let's take a quick look at community center stuff. Haven't spent much time here at all, other than talking about like the fish. Oh, we haven't put these in either. We've got all those. We could go do that. And that may be what gives us a bee house since we got the preserve jar. So here's one of the tougher ones, right? And this is where the cloth comes into play. We could buy that, and cloth is one of the tougher things of these because it's dependent on having a rabbit or a sheep, which are both, upper tier. They don't have to be at the top of the barn or the coop, but they're higher tier animals. So you have to do some upgrades and get them and process it through. So the cloth would be there, but cows are a low tier, first tier animal in the barns, and we're going to want to make a lot of cheese. So that one's a no-brainer. This one we've already got. This one is done. So we've got 3 sitting right there, and we've already planted trees for these 2. So between them, without any other assistance or to do, we've got 5 of the items. And this one we haven't done anything to start on, but 4 of them already completely covered. 1 more that I know will be a thing, and then comparable with those, at the first upgrade of the barn, we can get goats, and so we can have goat cheese, which is a great money maker, and putting one of those in has never been a problem. So I think those are, knowing that I will have an extra pomegranate, no way I want to buy a cloth unless, and still I don't think I would. I don't think that there's any dependency on a cloth in here. That's a big one. We already got that. This one's it's the rabbit's foot is probably next up in difficulty. These, we haven't gotten this yet. It'll show up in winter on the beach. That one is hugely difficult. And this one, if you don't get the tree in time, becomes a challenge. So we've already gotten two of the kind of snags out of the way. This stuff, I mean, we've already got these. We'll have loads and loads and loads of oak resin. Wine will not be a problem. We've already got the kegs, so we can throw blueberry in and have that covered. Rabbit's foot is tough. I would buy one of those from the Wandering Trader pretty much at any price I could cover, because rabbits are the last tier of the coop. You have to have the deluxe coop, and they don't drop them all the time, so you have to have like full hearts. You know, the rabbit has to be happy with you. It's not like first day, hey, look, I just gnawed off one of my feet. Why don't you have it? It's lucky. No, they will drop them along with wool, but it's the rare drop. The wool is the more common, and none of those happen every day with rabbits. So that's tough. Not impossible. Fodder, we've already talked about that. We've got the apples stuff part, and now we are growing the wheat, and we'll actually get more hay when we harvest that with our scythe. So basically covered, no problem. Tough stuff. Field research, we just talked about that. And then this one, we grew the poppies. We're holding on to one of those. Maple syrup, no problem. Fiddleheads, we've got. Truffle will be tough because it's going to take us a lot to get pigs. So that would be the other big purchase item. But again, this is completing the community center in year one. I'm less concerned about that than I am getting the greenhouse. So our summer crops, no problem. Artisan, we talked about that. We've already got 4. The 5th one's easy, and the goat cheese. Animals, this is the other tougher one. 2 chicken eggs, no problem. We'll have those fairly quickly on. Cow's large milk as well. Then this one represents the intermediate level of the coop. And so not a big deal there. And usually we go here because goats are the second tier of the barn. You get all those intermediate, and you can get these 5 knocked out. And the wool, if Emily gives us a piece or we see it really cheap, we can do that to speed along one or the other of these two and save us a little bit of extra time. But the animal part isn't too bad. And then fall crops, well, we've already got the corn. We'll just get these other ones. And we should be pretty good here. As we're getting these 2 cheeses, we'll also be getting the 2 large milks eventually, as long as our animals are well cared for. So, good stuff. All right. Aside from the fact that we've already had a rough start and a knock on the door interruption, we aren't even to the end of the day, are we? We're just standing here chatting. So, needless to say, we're not buying a super expensive piece of cloth. That was all that was. But I needed to kind of refresh that a little bit. I hadn't really looked since we've been playing. Let's go in here, kill some slimes, chop some hardwood. Go down and see the wizard. Give him the void essence that we're carrying. Try to get him a heart. Anything? And we did get the rare seed. Hey! What? Why wasn't I swinging? What were we going to do? Oh, we were going to clean up in front of, kind of between the silos and the greenhouse and the oak trees, right? Hey, buddy. No, no, he's afraid of you. Like it, he's kind of a mirror to Sebastian, right? Like, Sebastian kind of holds up in his room, only goes out at night, stays, kind of keeps to the sides outside of Sam and Abigail. He doesn't really do a whole lot of interacting, but his is very self-identified, right? It's I'm not comfortable with people. Crowds make me nervous. The sun's too bright. I'd rather be out at night. That kind of stuff. He's saying like I could I could choose to engage more, but it's not a part of my personality or what makes me comfortable. So why would I? The wizard is like holed up in his tower, doesn't go around, hangs at the edge of social events and all that kind of stuff. Very much gives the vibe of the same. I don't know if it's shy. Clearly, he doesn't project it as being shy, but he does all this stuff. I observe the villagers in secret. I believe they're afraid of me. All this stuff where he's like basically telling you he holds out of society, but instead of internalizing it like Sebastian does, and I'm not saying one is right or wrong or anything like that. He's like it's everybody else's deal. They're afraid of me. they won't come down to me, anything like that. I don't know what he's waiting for, but he makes it through his personality and his actions. He makes it less likely that people are going to accept him or be warm and receptive or express an interest in his arcane eldritch activities. Alright, let's carefully... I don't particularly mind those trees, although it's not where I'd prefer to have this whole forest area grow, and eventually we're going to fill this in with sheds and develop the whole little corner, but for now I mainly just want to be able to glance and see the oak trees and whether there's resins ready to be harvested. Oh, I don't have my pick. I hit 3 like, I'll just take these 2 stones and finish cleaning up. Head on to bed. Alright, well there we go. We managed to throw a bunch more wood on. We got some social stuff. Got to visit the wandering trader lady. Always good to say hi to her. And... where? Oh, I had this over here. This is the slime. This goes up here. Tomorrow, in the game, we're going to get our steel pick. We're going to water some crops. We won't have any birthdays or anything that we necessarily need to worry about until Wednesday. And in between all then, we'll kind of play it by ear. But we desperately, now that we've used all of our iron up, we desperately need, again, more coal basically to cook all that. And so I think, barring unforeseen stuff, we'll be going to grab that pick and heading back to the mines and trying to skyrocket these resources. But we may also, with 7,000 in our bank account, I think it's $2,000 to get the coop going. And having talked about all the advancements and all that, that may be the other thing that we try to knock out tomorrow. Robin should be in her store on the Saturday. Clear that little spot up at the corner of the greenhouse in front of the mushroom cave. Get the coop started so that she can be building on that. And I think, in the 3 days that it's going, if we spend two and have got five, I think the first barn is only four too. So we basically could prepay for both if the game would allow that. It won't, but we've got enough and can start getting the animals going here in this what by that point will be the last week of summer, and begin to cycle those upgrades, and then hopefully it may be before, it may not be before winter when we start doing fish ponds, which is okay because I think that the sturgeon only show up. Is it fall in winter maybe? So we may be looking for them, but really, I don't want to waste a whole lot of time on other species of fish until we've gotten a bunch of sturgeon to make the caviar item as opposed to roe. So lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff to go. I'm going to take a break, and I hope you guys will stick around and come on back. Let me dig up this window here. I'm going to mute you, and I'll throw up things. So if you're watching this on a VOD, you can jump forward to the end. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Ant, hey, sorry, dude. I don't know if you're hearing me or not. Crazy, crazy, crazy day. Things are going wild, and I'm actually gonna sadly have to wrap up, and it's not planned, but yeah, early in the stream, I don't know. I know you were supporting me by lurking beforehand, which is huge. You're awesome. And then the raid while I was stepped away, and I just got a call. So earlier today, a couple people apparently had stolen a car and were cruising through the parking lot of my apartment complex, and they were like two people were, or I don't know what the details. This is all hearsay, or from the apartment people, but people were like walking between the cars, and then this one car was like driving along. They got the plate on that and found out it was stolen. And the dudes were like going between the parked cars, and they saw him up against mine with his back to the door and kind of do the arm reach behind, like he was checking to see if it was unlocked on the handle. So they'd come by and knocked in the middle of the beginning of the stream. Like my apartment lady came by and knocked on the door and was like, "I'm sorry, I know you work from home, but if you don't mind, don't touch your door handles on your truck for the next few hours. The cops are going to come by and they're going to potentially dust it for fingerprints and all that." So that was just a call. She said they're back on site and that they had just given the police my phone number so that they could get the permission or whatever. So I'm gonna wrap up. I will have exciting stories, I'm sure, to tell. They won't be that exciting. This is actually the second time I've ever had my vehicle used as evidence. And years ago, they got people that went through a house neighborhood and broke into every car overnight. And the cops actually caught the people like a year later, and were like, from the fingerprints that we got, we tied them to a whole bunch of different stores. So it'll be crazy. Tune in if you can. But I hope you're feeling good. COVID stuff all still no problem. Just boring and feeling confined. You all good though? Awesome, dude. Well, hey, take care again. Oh shoot, I don't even know what I'm gonna do about this game. Let's. It's 6:30 a.m. We just harvested those. We'll start over with Saturday the 20th. Waking up tomorrow. Thanks so much, Ant, for um, bringing everybody by. And again, it was great hanging out with you yesterday. We'll talk soon. Take care. See you, everybody else in Vodland and the lurkers out there. Thank you all. Take care. See you next time.